Love it.
What is?
I thought the camera guy wasn't supposed to say one. You say 3, 2. You know? No, there's no action. We're not on TV. Okay. Anyway, so today, following Miles, how did that go? How was Miles? Was he great?
I love Miles.
Fantastic.
Miles.
We love Miles. He's great.
Miles.
Miles did tell me that he doesn't watch all the episodes, so I guess we'll see if he watches his own and if he watches this one.
How dare you?
Not. I know. I was like, you shouldn't have admitted that. And he was like, well, I didn't want to lie when I asked him.
Okay,
so,
I can appreciate that.
Yeah, so he's like, I can't say that with 2 kids I've made the time to watch all of them, so I understand. But anyway, going off of, I'm assuming you talked about service. I guess you could have gone rogue and talked about service. Other things. I kind of want to bring that into full circle of like why it's important to us from like a company standpoint and to you from like the CEO standpoint, why it's important for Vandoit to be a one-stop shop, why it's important for us to offer service, support, like the van being included in the price of the upfit and warranties and kind of all that stuff. So it's a large rabbit hole that we could probably get down, but
yeah. Oh, we could go a lot of routes with this.
6-part.
Wow.
Starting now.
This is Friday after Vox. I guess it's airing 2 weeks after. Really, Haley? Come on.
Sorry, I could have made it simpler.
Yeah, no, it's one-stop shop. I just take it back to like what I think I've just continually just repeated over and over again, but just relationship. We want the opportunity to build a relationship with you. We want an opportunity to have a relationship with you. We want the opportunity to just take care of you in any facet that we potentially can. If that's starting from the very beginning, if you own something you just need to get rid of, we can probably help you in that regard by doing a trade-in. If you currently have like a loan payment that you need to get rid of before you can afford the van, we can probably take care of that by trade-in. Finance options, we can help keep it simple for you. It all starts at the very beginning there, and then it works through, then the pickup and the build part to make sure that the van is what you need it to be. Counseling you through, okay, explain to me how much sleeping space you need. And, by the time you get to pickup day, that's where the relationship really begins, because now you have the asset. Now you have your dream. Now let's help make sure that you're successful with it. And that's why you don't know what you don't know. We don't know what we don't know. And that's why I tell my team all the time when someone tours, and I just a huge advocate. We do a credit if you tour off the cost of your van. I'm just such a believer in relationship. Brent, my father-in-law, president, co-founder with me, he, I've even talked to him the other day about guerrilla marketing, just relationship. Just pick up the phone and talk to somebody, and just be willing to build a relationship. And when you talk about just the start to finish of taking care of somebody, I want as many opportunities to reach out and touch you, and show you that we're a team here that wants to help take care of you and build that relationship with you. Yeah. We don't want a person ever feeling like they're on this journey of van life alone. You want to go be alone, but no, we're always there to support you. Yeah. We're always there to help you. Because that ties into, you're going to leave here with a van, and we're hoping, off kind of like the previous, we're hoping that you leave with, everything you feel you need to be successful after a 2-day pickup. Okay. You get 6 months down the road and you realize, hey, now I've kind of realized maybe I never used this feature. Maybe I realized I want this feature. Maybe you guys finally released what I've been after in an accessory or a change. That's where the service piece comes in. That's where customer support, customer relations come in, to where the more that we can help benefit our customers, the better we do. Yep. It's just simple. At the end of the day, the success of this business is doing whatever we can for our customer base. This business has to provide. It has to make money. It has to provide for you and every employee that's here. It has to give everybody security, but also that security also bless you. Said bless you. Yeah.
I mean, it was a cough, but I don't know. I will take the blessing.
Okay.
That is great.
Okay. So, but I mean, it's as the more touch points that we can do, the more I believe you become more understanding of what we do. So the more we can offer, the better that is. It's also just a nuisance to have to go to one place to find your financing, go to another place to sell the RV you already have.
Yeah.
Come here to get a van, but then leave to go get third-party accessories. I mean, that is why we did our partnership with Quigley and the Q-Lift in the very beginning. Well, two reasons. One, ELs, extended length vans, their butts dragged anytime you went into any sort of parking lot. That was a problem. Two, whenever you actually load these vehicles to GVWR, so gross vehicle weight rating, you actually now are outside of the requirements that we have to hold to for factory driveline angles and the angles at which the vehicle is to set at. So a vehicle comes in from Ford, it has to hold those same levels. We needed it there as well. The biggest reason, though, I knew I needed to find a local vendor that could do the installs locally to us. Because we needed somebody to perfect it. We needed somebody to. I'm not saying people out there don't care. Yeah. What I am saying is that they don't look at the customer, I believe, in the way we try to look at all of our customers. Yeah. We want it right. It's not about making $1, it's about making it right. And taking your van to a truck shop to install someone else's components, especially on all-wheel drives with the CV angle, like in the front passenger wheel. I mean, we pull a lot of lift kits off vans to do it right. We've done far too many, and it makes me mad every time because someone wasted money, and it drives me crazy because I want to try to do whatever we can that's the best thing for our customer. The only way, and kind of just as this business has evolved, the only way I feel that we can do that is by offering more. Now, there's a double-edged sword there. I mean, it's the more you offer, the more things can go wrong. And so there's been a few times where I'd say we probably bit off a little more than we can chew. But we've always figured out how to get through it. But it's been just a gradual, organic process of continually bringing more in-house. We plan to continually bring more things in-house as we can because, again, I have a goal, and just with COVID, kind of threw my timeline off. We had things happen with the facility this year, the launch of commercial, and then just the overwhelming success. And I call it overwhelming because it's just there's a lot for us to get just streamlined on the production line, but the move model. So my timeline has shifted, but my goal is that when a customer leaves here, all they have to do is stop at the grocery store. I mean, that really is our goal. Our goal is that you don't need to become an expert in figuring out what you need. Yeah. We need to become that for you. And I think we're getting there in many ways. I think when it comes to the chassis itself, I think what the chassis needs, upgrades, tires, what I kind of referred to, with just lifts and tire clearances and just all the different things, we are experts. We've done this a lot. We got
a few times.
Yeah, I mean, we got 1,000+ vans on the road. And
how many services with all of those?
I mean, it adds a whole nother realm to it.
Upgrades and everything.
Right. And so like talking with Miles, I mean, there's not many things that we have seen for the first time anymore. Yeah. A lot of shops probably around the country probably have, but not, we've now there's a recent recall on transits for vibration that just released. We've been fixing that vibration for 2 years. We've known it. We've known how to work around it. I mean, we've had to, change out parts to make it happen. I mean, we've been doing it on probably 500 plus vans.
Yeah.
So, we're sometimes like the first to know things. We're the first ones that kind of have to figure out things. But that whole start to finish relationship, taking care of the customer, it all boils into trust and trying to build that also, I guess, maybe like kind of that blind faith, but also kind of like loyalty for our customer base to know, I mean, we want to take care of you. And the only way I foresee we continually figure out how to do it is include them in more. So our ambassador program, it's my plan to really emphasize that in the coming year. Just really, I mean, it's we have there is a benefit that we do to our customers, to where if they give anything above their necessary deposit, we pay them APR on their additional money. And I've had a lot of people say, well, that's why are we doing this? That's just costing us. We're just giving that money whenever a person's perfectly fine, not doing that. I mean, they just wanted to secure, they just wanted to, they needed to transfer their money, whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, I want to incentivize it because we have credit lines. We're, a fully functioning business. We have credit lines. We have lenders. Someone is getting an interest. Someone's getting paid.
Yeah.
If I can make that payment go to our owners, 100%.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. I mean, it's the whole point is anything we try to do anything possible that if it can benefit our customers, we do it. So a couple of things that'll be coming out in the coming months. Probably once this airs, it'll be in the coming months. We're standardizing a lot of things on our builds. So the question is, why are we doing that? It's so that I can go to our vendors and say, I'm including this in every unit. I need a price break. Why? Because I want to give that price break back to our owners.
Yeah.
Also, I want to be able to increase serviceability. There's just all these little aspects to it where they're just building blocks, I think is what I'm trying to kind of get at. And, I think for me, it just comes down to a matter of the more that I know we can do for our customers, the more they have to reach out to us, maybe is like one way to put it, the more that I feel confident that it opens the door for opportunity for our customers to see, in a lot of ways, just really who we are.
Yeah.
And how we really do want to take care of all. And we want to be here to support you. Yeah. And so I think that's, starting it from start to finish, whenever it's taking a trade off your hands to, make an APR and additional money you want to put down, to financing options, to, interest rate incentives, just all the aspects, I think just across the board, period. That's where I think that's kind of where we win, I guess is one way to put it. So, but that's a rambling.
No, that was
rambling,
great. That was like
that
was a very well-rounded. You were like, oh, I don't know if I have the direct answer for this. And then you just laid it all out there.
I just went for it.
It was great. That was perfect. I think that just shows like just the fact that you were able to just like put all that out. Like that really shows like that everything is true and accurate. I mean, I think if you read any of our Google reviews, like you can see everything that you just said is like plain and clear in all of those, and it's not like we're paying people to write those reviews. Like our customers genuinely are appreciative and they feel like a member of, the family. And that's like, so I feel like that's so evident. I mean, any show I've ever gone to for Vandoit, any like event, like Vox that you mentioned, we just had, sorry, getting over a cold. Like any of those events, like people can just see they're like, you guys are just so happy. Like, and it's not because you're getting paid to be here kind of happy. Like everyone's just happy because they're happy with the product. And even like you showing up to Vox and, like messing with people, like we just pick up right where we left off. It's like, it really is a family, and it's just so hard to explain unless you see it. And all of that kind of comes from the business plan and your heart and your side of it, where you're trying and succeeding to like make this the feeling that everybody has when they come in, which is just like so important. I feel like pretty much every episode I'm like trying to just like dig deeper into that, because it's just so hard to like to see unless you're here, you know, and we can't bring everybody who watch these videos like into the shop, but you could come for a tour if you want to. But it's just like, it's one of those things that's so hard to like tangibly get a hold of, but it's just so important. And it just like warms my heart to know that like I get to be a part of it, you know? So I just think that's awesome and love it.
Well, I mean, I appreciate the kind words. I mean, you know, kudos like Austin last night. We were taking photos and video of like a new Move model that went out, which is it's killer. It's unbelievable. But you know, working with the customer, you know, he had a lot of questions, kind of turned into a level of wants. And it was on our part of us saying, yeah, like we can probably do that. But it reached a point with that customer where it's kind of like, this is now kind of like above and past what anyone can really sign themselves up for.
Yeah.
So, you know, I stepped into the conversation and I got to know him. I spent time with him. Numerous phone calls. It was kind of a rough patch. Reality is his band was supposed to be done, and I had to postpone it. Which we've had to do a few times with moves just because we want the design right.
Yeah.
And we're having to learn what kind of time it takes to build these things.
Yeah.
We are really starting to fly through that. It's just final tweaks instead of trying to do it over the next 2 years. We're doing it now.
Yeah.
But you know, so yeah, I mean, we had a very tough call that he and I had to go through of just like, why is this? But we were able to build a relationship. I got to know him. And this is where sometimes my team gets scared whenever I start working with a client, because once I figured out who he was and I started asking questions, and I personally dug into, in all reality, how can I use his wants to benefit us?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I look at it. He wanted, you know, he's always driven vehicles that are set up a certain way. You know, like I like big trucks with big tires, you know, big offsets. I like some poke, you know, and if anyone knows what that is, rock on. So
giggling in the background.
He knows what Nick does not like poke. So, you know, and you got to do a flash up of what is acceptable poke, please, Austin. But as I worked through it with him, I realized I have a vision of where I want to get some move models, like the design of the move. I had a vision for where I wanted to be a year from now. I realized that if I can take the time to build a relationship with this individual, his name's Miguel. If I can build a relationship with him and I can be honest with him and explain to him, like, hey, like, we want to go this route. I will work with you on it. We'll work together. It's going to take a little more time, but I will put my own 2 hands on it. And the unit, there'll be a walkthrough video of it, probably maybe by the time this airs, maybe on YouTube. But I mean, it really is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a long move cargo built on a passenger chassis, so you get the factory rear AC and heat, drawbridge bed, power system, the all new C-Zone power system. It's extremely exciting, and a ton of blood, sweat, and tears went into that unit to get it right. But not just get it right for him, get it right for the production line. I mean, the amount of changes that we made on our production line because of the dedication we gave that unit is making every other van we produce better.
Yeah.
And did it take more time? Yes. Did I want Miguel to get his van earlier? 100%. Do I believe he's going to be far more successful because of the extra steps we took? Yes. I will say that. It's up to him to determine that. Really, that's what matters. But do I also think the time we put into that unit to really push our limits going to help every other unit? 100%. Yeah. And that's the part of like the full circle relationship is kind of, you mentioned like we're a family, you know, we do these things. You know, I show up to Vox and I messed with everybody. It's just what we do, you know, because it's a time to be together at those events and I love it. I'm not me in my title there. I'm me being me.
Yeah,
and if
just Jared.
anyone knows me, I take everything very serious, but I don't.
We'll have to flash up the photo of you holding Penny
Yes.
on your chest,
Yeah, please do.
eating a taco with sunglasses on. I think that's probably the best way to.
Basically at night. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just all those aspects that, I mean, just again, we just want to fully service our customers. And it does stress us. I mean, it does put stress on us trying to do what we did and do every day, but it's what's got us here, and it's what actually makes us successful, and it's what continually makes us push for better.
Yeah.
I'm extremely excited for the future. I'm extremely excited for the vans that we're producing and have always produced. It's just, you want to stay humble. You want to always feel like you need to work on things, but I'm excited to see what the future holds for us and our owners.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait for someone, and maybe this has already happened and you might know about it, for somebody to have found us through this and for this to be their first encounter with Vandoit. It's just like Jared, raw and real, drinking his coffee and talking about stories like this. Like, I hope that, someday someone's like coming into the shop and they're like, that's what I heard first. And that's why I'm like here, that's just going to be such a cool origin story.
And I hope I meet him.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would be mad if I came in and that was like my story and I didn't, I learned first that you liked ferrets and that's like how I was like, this is the company. Yeah, what'd you name him again? What's the name on his tag?
Was it Douglas?
Douglas. You remember. Yeah, it's Douglas.
Douglas. My old buddy. So awesome. No, I appreciate it, Haley. As always. Got
Look
my
like you're
friend.
about to kiss him. Okay, that's the end. We're done now.
Kissing ferrets.
I think you could probably get sick from that. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Go back home. Thank you, Haley.
Thank you.
Thank you, Austin.